ranked number 3 in the nation. You got to be pretty pleased with where you are at this point in the season.
We are. We're extremely pleased. But all the credit goes to the young men and coaching staff and our weight strength coach and trainer. All the hard work that we put in, from basically the winter of this year, but especially when we got everybody on the ground June 3rd. These young men, I think, have worked their tails off, and we're deserving to be where we are. Kind of once again, just like going into Iowa Western and Lackawanna and some other ones. Now we got one of the juggernauts in NJCAA historically and year in and year out, and we'll see if we're any good, I guess.
Well, I think that question's already been answered, but let's talk about snow in a moment. Andrew College, how did you come out of that game health wise?
We're healthy. We're able to get through it. Minimal penalties. No stupid penalties. There wasn't any back and forth. It was a good, clean game. We played better in the second half, I think, than we did the first half. Defensively, we let them extend some drives that we didn't get off the field. But, with every game, you're going to learn from your mistakes. And, we got to correct those if we want to have a chance against snow.
I noticed Traquan Jones, 6 carries, 16 yards. Obviously that is below what he typically would do. He sat out a game or two, or I guess one game, and then had the open week. Is he back to full health?
He's getting there. I think he's still healthy enough to where, he can be a one-shot guy. He could take it the distance every time he touches the ball. But we intentionally limited his reps last week. He got some snaps on it, which were good. And then we didn't really need him anymore. So, he's full strength. He's ready to go. Chip Cooper's ready. Unfortunately, we are without the offensive lineman. Jalen Walton got hurt against Monroe. But we have backups that have been playing and doing well since he went out. But other than that, this late in the season, you got some bumps and bruises, but those are things you have to work through. And but there's nobody out due to injury.
Now, Walton, you had hoped would be back for snow. So he is not back this week?
No, he's done for the year. He's slated to have surgery. Nothing major necessarily, but just got to get some things cleaned up in there. But unfortunately, he'll be done for the season.
Chip Cooper, 181 yards passing, couple of touchdowns. And I know going into the Andrew College game, he still didn't quite look back to 100%, but looked really good against Andrew College. Is he in that 95 to 100% range now, health-wise?
He's 100% ready to go. He did a really good job throwing the ball, kind of sitting in the pocket. He's ready to go. He's full strength, and we're going to need him to play like he did against Iowa Western. But we're looking forward to it.
All right, Snow College. First thing, thin air in Utah. Thick, muggy, humid air in Georgia. How do you get adjusted to the new climate?
Well, I think we really haven't tried to adjust our approach to the game. Just trying to get it, just like every other game. Usually during the week, our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are the busiest days. We lift really, really hard on Monday and Wednesday. We still got our weightlifting sessions in. We did move it up because Thursday is essentially our travel day. Tomorrow. So we did on Monday, it was just normally our day off. We did for the kids, we went Tuesdays practice on Monday, Wednesdays yesterday, and Thursdays will be today. So we still got our 3 good practices in. After going out there several times, and especially 2 years ago to snow, we thought we'd try a little bit different approach. So we're leaving on Thursday. It's still a full day of travel. We got to leave here early in the AM to catch an early flight, being around 2 hours away from Atlanta. But essentially, we're going to get a really good workout in tomorrow evening, more of a practice type thing. Get out, get running, get the lungs used to that atmosphere, hopefully, and altitude. And then we'll have all day on Friday to once again go out, get a really good workout in on Friday mid-morning. And I think what we've tried to do is just set ourselves up the best to give our young men the best opportunity to go out there and compete. 2 years ago, our travel day was Friday, so we didn't really have a chance to recuperate or get adjusted, and we're doing that this time. And thanks to our administration and everybody for letting us get out there early. And so it's I think we're doing the best we can to get our young men ready to go play a really good snow football team.
Speaking of snow, they are led by Donnie Smith, a cornerback who's got about 2,500 yards passing. Well, maybe not quite 2,500. He's got 25 touchdowns. And I think he's edging near that 2,000 mark in yards passing. How do you prepare for a Donnie Smith?
When you watch him on film, it's typical snow. Big up front, big at the running backs. They got big tight ends. I know that young man that you're referring to is really battled through a lot of injuries and everything, and he's, having a good year. We're preparing like we always do. We got to stop the run first, and then, put them in some passing situations. He's got some good targets. But we're just, we're staying to our approach, and we're going to be running what we've been running, and go out there and then give them everything we got.
Obviously, we're recording this in advance, playing it just prior to the game, but recording it in advance. So the travel plans, as you mentioned, leave Thursday. Where in Utah do you go for those practice sessions?
Which is, it's about an hour from Salt Lake. Then it's about an hour and a half from Ephraim, kind of right there in the middle. But we're staying really downtown Provo, almost right there at BYU. We're going to use the old Provo High School game field. Now BYU has that. So that's where we're going to be, right there, basically on BYU's campus.
Coach, it's been a great year. The number 3 ranking, well deserved, and you still, this point in the year, with 3 games now to go, in control of your own destiny. So you've got to like where you are at this moment in time.
Oh, definitely. Like I said at the beginning, they've really worked hard and for positioning for. We're blessed. We're where we want to be. At the beginning of the year, this is what your goals are, and the playoffs are not until later on in December. But I think this is certainly a playoff type game and atmosphere.
Indeed, it is. Congratulations on a great year, and I'm just going to pre-congratulate you for a win over snow. We're looking for one in Utah, and we'll talk next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Hi, everybody. Welcome as we get set for football on a Saturday night. And let me start by saying thank you very much to Snow College. Hey, in the advent of just flat-out honesty, we're not in Utah. We are using the video feed from the folks there in Utah to be able to bring you live coverage of the number 3 ranked team in the country in Georgia Military College and the number 4 ranked team in Snow. Georgia Military winning the opening coin toss. They opted to defer and have Snow College come out with that potent offense and their air attack led by Donnie Smith first. So we will take a look at Snow College first. And, of course, a big thank you to all the folks who game in and game out, make our coverage possible. And throughout the course of this contest, we'll be acknowledging those fine folks. And a reminder that coming up at halftime, we will take a look at the JUCO Rush, kind of a condensed version, but talk about junior college football. Snow airing it out immediately. Smith, 1,600 yards through the air, 25 touchdowns, and he wants to go ahead and do just what he's been doing throughout the course of the year. On the opening play, incomplete pass. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Football at the 28-yard line. Man, there's been a lot happen in JUCO football today. Number 1 is no longer unbeaten. Hutch losing to Butler. So things are going to change in the top 5, and you got a couple of teams in these two that want to be mentioned as a top 5 team. 8-yard pickup on the carry across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. And that is Fritschnick, and the freshman, bringing in the grab. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. Opening drive of the football game for Snow. Smith at quarterback, injured a couple of years ago. Had to sit out a season, had a red shirt. Running room up the middle, and that should be enough for the first out to the 39-yard line. Needed a yard to pick up the first. He picked up 2. That is Mountain Wilson on the carry. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for Snow College. Opening drive of the football game here on a Saturday night. And it started about 10 yards back around the 28-yard line. Smith again to pass, flushed out of the pocket, looks downfield, tosses. It is picked off. Picked off by the Georgia Military. And rambling inside the 40. Down to around the 28-yard line. Georgia Military College in business quickly, a flag toss, but I already saw Rob Manchester say, hey, forget the infraction. It's against them. We don't want it. It is a hold. It will be declined, and the pick has got the football in the hands of Georgia Military College. And you can credit to some degree the pass rush. It just forced Smith to make a bad throw, picked off by Jordan McCray. And McCray right about the 30-yard line, where it is a 1st down and 10, Georgia Military College. Chip Cooper at quarterback, back from that injury. Had an outstanding game against Andrew College. Give goes up the middle. That is Traquan Jones. Jones trying to get back to that 100% level. And he will carry the football for a pair of yards to the 30. Wow, you talk about a big play, especially if you can score some points on this one for Georgia Military, because you are in essence nullifying the fact that Snow got the ball first. So you are gaining ground not only by having the football first in the second half, but you have nullified their opening drive of the football game. But keep this in mind. Snow has faced adversity many times in the past, and they're facing it again. Handoff is given to Phillips. Keenan Phillips just banging his way inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line. Keenan Phillips, one of those players being considered for the JUCO Weekly Best Player of the Year. Big play for Keenan Phillips. He has been an all-purpose guy who game in and game out picks up big yardage. As a matter of fact, leads the NJCAA in touchdowns. And again, it'll be Phillips on the carry. He is just not a single contact guy. It's going to take multiple people to bring down Keenan Phillips, and he will bang his way down to the 16-yard line. Gain of 3 brings up a 2nd down and 7. Again, Snow College throwing the pick in the opening drive of the football game. And Georgia Military College with the football inside the 20 at the 17, trying to take advantage of this opening turnover. Cooper on play action. Fake to Phillips. Toss over the middle. And the pass is complete. Down inside the 12, where it is 3rd down and 1. Trenton Smith has become a big target for Georgia Military College. You think about early games this season, and Smith did not catch a pass. It was about game number 2, maybe, well, it was game 3 or maybe 4 before he brought in his first reception, but he has become one of the go-to targets for Cooper. He'll keep it. That might have been a busted-up play based on the high snap. And it'll bring up decision time for Georgia Military College. A 3rd down and short, as in about a half yard, turns into a 4th down and a couple. And if you're Georgia Military College, I'm thinking about, bringing Freddie Perez on at the turf. Let him put some points on the board, get something out of the pick. And that is exactly what the Bulldogs will do. Perez trying a 33-yard effort to get the Bulldogs on top first. And that kick is up, and it is good. Bulldogs lead it early. Compliments of the pick by 3.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Perez with a kick, returned out to about the 18-yard line. Perez, a 33-yard field goal at the 10:26 mark, 4.5 into the ball game. And it all started with a pick 6. I'm going to make that the pick. It sure would have been nice if it was a pick 6, but it's still nice that it's half that, a 3. And I'm thumbing through stats to see how many picks that Smith has thrown this year. I really don't think there has been that many. Comes into the ball game with 25 touchdowns, 5 interceptions this year. That's just the 6th. Running room up the middle, picking up the first across the 30 to the 33-yard line. That is Matt Wilson on the carry. Matt Wilson, the 5'10" running back, redshirt freshman. He's actually a Floridian. And again, Wilson on the carry. Well, you're expecting Snow to run the football, to pass the football. They have been running it pretty effective here in the opening part of the football game. And believe me, they're not going to go away from, in its entirety, that passing game. Of course, if the run game gets effective, then that's what they will do. But if you're the Georgia Military College Bulldogs, you definitely would like for this team to be running the football versus throwing the football. As Smith again goes upstairs, pass is complete inside Bulldog territory for the first time tonight. That is Shandon King, the 6'2 sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. Boy, you got a lot of guys out west on this Snow College team that make their home originally in the South. Drive number 2 for Snow. Opening drive, a pick. Pass is complete. Freshnick. Gain of 4. And that will bring up a 2nd down and 6. Football inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. If you're Snow, here's what you want to do when Georgia Military College has put points on the board and you want to respond. Georgia Military wants to not only have the lead, hold the lead, and grow the lead. Again on the carry, Wilson. Wilson backing his way to the 41. And it turns into a third down and a couple. Eight minutes, 16 seconds left to play in the opening stanza. Bulldogs getting that pick from McCray and getting a Perez 3. Third down and a couple. I would think this is 4-down territory. If you don't pick up the first and go to fourth, that's a long field goal. You're talking about 50 plus. Wilson again on the carry, and he will break tackles inside the 31, where it is first down and 10. Well, the changes, they're coming in the NJCAA when the new polls come out the first of the week. Hutch losing to Butler today, 27-22. And there are no more unbeaten teams in the NJCAA. There were two coming into the weekend, Holmes and Hutch, but they both lose. Holmes on a Hail Mary the last play of the game against Northwest. And then Hutch, I don't think they ever led in that game. Snow firing towards the end zone, incomplete. Frischnick well covered. And it'll bring up a second down and 10. Snow College's lone loss of the year came to the same team that beat Georgia Military College, Iowa Western. Of course, we know for Georgia Military College, it was an OT loss to the then number one team in the country. For Snow, it was an 11-point loss to the then number two team in the country. And along with the pass. And again, well covered. Intended target, Kel McCoy. And you got a penalty flag. You see it there at the 31-yard line. Officials discussing. And it'll be an offsides charge to Georgia Military. Got a 5-yard mark off. And a replay of the down. Knocking on the door outside of the red zone. Football at the 27. Wilson on the carry. This time he will be stopped after a gain of a yard or two. As we get inside that halfway point of the stanza. And it'll bring up a third down and right at 3. Football spotted at the 26-yard line. 6 minutes, 39 seconds left to play. Again, a big thank you to Snow College, allowing us the opportunity to tag into their feed, to be able to bring you action from Utah. Sitting here, by the way, in Ozark, Alabama, at Eagle Stadium. And thank you so much to Ozark. And the big fullback pounding his way for the first down. That is Adonis Tillman, 5'11" sophomore from Maryland. Inside the 25 to the 23, so a lot of folks making it possible that we get your coverage. Snow and Ozark, Alabama and Utah, to be able to bring coverage back to Georgia and all over the world. Inside 6 to play, opening quarter. And again on the carry, it is Tillman. Head and shoulder pads lowered, makes his way inside the 20. Where it is second down and 6. Five minutes, 27 seconds left to play in quarter number 1. Low snap. Smith picks it up, scans the field, looks. Got a receiver in the corner of the end zone, but just a little too strong with the toss. Over into the corner for the intended target, McCoy, and that will bring up a third down. but you've got another yellow hanky. And you have got another Georgia Military College offsides. Well, anxious to get in the backfield and put a strong rush on Donnie Smith. And as a result, pick up their second 5-yard mark off. Then we'll turn a third and a lot longer, or actually a second and a lot longer, to a 2nd and 1. I'm not sure that was the way that play was designed, but it's going to work out for Snow College. Ball just scooped up off the turf. Drew Patterson. Well, if it was intended for Patterson, using Smith as a decoy, then it didn't find its target crisply, but it still got the first. Wilson trying to bounce it to the outside. He'll be dropped to the 15-yard line. So a loss of yardage, bringing up a 3rd down. Three yards to go. And actually it is 4th down and 3. Ball spotted on the 15-yard line. Clock winding down, getting inside the 4-minute mark. Is it just me? Or does it feel like this stanza is expiring quickly? Got a late start to the game. Fake to Wilson. Smith to pass. Did he pick up the first? He did not. Trying to dive inside the 15. Down to about the 13 to pick up the first. The big tight end, Caden Eggett. And Snow College sees drive number 2 snuffed out inside the 15. And Georgia Military College will take over 1st down and 10. And that defense bent some, had a couple of offsides infractions that hurt them, but they did not break. And Georgia Military College with the football at the 15-yard line, where it is 1st down and 10. You definitely want to guard against one of those payback, turnovers. One of those reciprocating turnovers here. The Bulldog preference, how about a long 85-yard drive? Cooper to pass. And it is incomplete. I believe he was trying to get that pass over to that rather lengthy target. That being Ricardo Tarver, the Warner Robins product. But an incomplete pass stops the clock. 3:41 to go in the stanza. In a 3-zip game. Cooper pounding his way up the middle. I believe that is Phillips. At least that's the look of the running style. No, that's a bigger back. That is Trayvon Kinshin, 225-pound, 5'10", redshirt freshman from Hampton, Georgia. And he will pick up 4, bringing up a 3rd down and 6, ball at the 19-yard line. But if you're Georgia Military and you can't get points out of it, you definitely would like to get a few 1st downs out of this drive so that you are not kicking from deep inside your own territory and allowing Snow to possibly flip the field. Cooper flushed out of the pocket, trying to pick up the first. He will have it across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Then the ball pops out, and let's see who's got it. Snow does. Wow, Cooper had the first, and then that ball comes loose, but wait a minute. There is a hanky. And let's see if maybe, just maybe, the infraction will go against Snow. It is, though, tossed in an area where you typically see a holding infraction, but maybe in this particular case we did not. And the penalty yardage going to be marked off against Snow. That is a huge break for Georgia Military. Snow had gotten the football back. But have it no more. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line, where it is first down and 10. Wow, that is big for the Bulldogs. Twofold. One, they don't give the ball back to Snow deep inside their own territory. Two is they've got the first down. And even again, if you don't eventually wind up getting points out of the drive, you're moving the ball upfield. If you got to kick it away, then you're not deep inside your own territory doing it. Well, is this additional yardage tacked on? Now we're seeing that pigskin move way downfield. So maybe it was penalty yardage added to the play, which would be odd. Football to the 49. Just a yard shy of Snow territory. And it is first down and 10. Cooper with the keeper, and then the little pitch out, picking up additional yardage. That is Smith carrying the football inside Snow territory. Boy, that was a little trickery. Looked like Kinchin might get the handoff, and Cooper the keeper, and then you got a receiver trailing. So you're not thinking option. Sure looked like Smith got more yardage than they gave him, though. Stepped out of bounds at the 42 and gets inside Snow territory. Well, the Bulldogs know the ramification, too, of this contest. I'm sure they are well aware that Hutch won the football, or lost the football game today. Give goes to Phillips. Phillips got running room inside the 40, inside the 35, down to the 31-yard line. Goes Keenan Phillips. So they know that if they win this football game, ranked number 3 coming in, a good possibility they move to the 2 spot. Iowa Western won today and won big over Garden City. Garden City got some bad news today. Ineligible player. Played in 5 of the opening games. They were 6-1 coming into the weekend. Well, they had to forfeit 5 of those 6 wins. And they have become losses. Cooper on the carry inside the 30 to the 29. So as a result, maybe they were a little down and out, but they took on Iowa Western in the game after learning the bad news. And in that game, after learning the bad news, they lose 37-0. So Iowa Western will be the number 1 team in the country with the new polls coming out on Monday. But the question is, who is 2? And what is so significant about 2? Well, at this juncture, maybe not that much. I mean, it is an honor, obviously. But you want to be number 2 when the end of the season is here, because there are 4 teams that will go to postseason. And the top 2 will host. Don't want to get ahead of the game? Well, okay, I do want to get ahead of the game. Superstitious athletes would say, don't get ahead of the game. But man, would it not be a treat to have a postseason game played at Davenport Field? Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. So if there are some possible superstitions, I'm going to limit the damage. 3rd down and 8. Football to the 29. Handoff given to Phillips. Breaks 1 tackle. Up the middle. Got the first. Still on his feet. Inside the 15 to the 12. And that is what Keenan Phillips has meant to the Georgia Military College Bulldogs this year. Should have been stopped right there. But just right up the gut. And did that knee touch down? Nope, they didn't say it did at the 19. Thought it might have touched at the 19, but they will give him all of the progress down to the 13. Where it is first down and 10. Cooper running into the left side. Sliding between defenders down to the 8. And the clock continuing to roll. This is a drive, by the way, that started at their 15. And it is now inside the 10. Time out on the field. Let's take the break, too.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic.
Seconds left to play in the corner. Give goes to Phillips, and Phillips down to the 6. And that should bring an end to the first. We're done with 1. Bulldogs by 3 and knocking on the door.
Georgia Military College provides opportunities to learn, to grow, to lead. The GMC Corps of Cadets will help you build a foundation to start your journey to success. As one of 4 military junior colleges in the nation, GMC provides character-based education, state-of-the-art facilities, physical training, leadership, history, and tradition. Be the leader that makes a difference. Start here. Go anywhere.
We head into stanza number 2. A 3-zip ball game. Perez with a 33-yard field goal, and now it is 3rd down and 4. They'll give it to the guy who's got more touchdowns than anybody else. That is Keenan Phillips into the end zone. Touchdown from 6 yards out. And I mean anybody else in the NJCAA, not just at Georgia Military College. Keenan Phillips into the end zone, opening play of stanza number 2. And Georgia Military College taking the advantage with Perez set to tack on the extra point. And his extra point kick up, and his extra point kick is good.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, you got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more
Bulldogs with a 10-0 advantage. The number 3 ranked team in the country kicked to the goal line, brought out to the 20, out to the 30, out to the 35, to the 38-yard line. Nice return for Snow. And that is B.J. Inman with the return out to about the 37. Do have an infraction, however. And let's see what the penalty is, whether it will send Snow back towards the Bulldog end zone or in the direction of their own. Got a delay of game. Is that the indication? It sure looked like a delay of game call, but how would they delay the game? Hey, not asking questions. Got a 10-point lead. We'll take whatever they give. Not that they would give anything negative, by the way. I'm not a guy that likes to get on referees. Man, they got a tough job, and we don't have enough of them anymore because everybody is getting on referees. So, refs, good job. 10-zip Bulldog lead. I was just trying to figure out what the sign was. You know, that looked kind of like a delay of game sign or a, Robert go to sleep sign. Loss of about a yard brings up a 2nd down and 11. Hey, good to have the commissioner of the GCAA watching coverage tonight from his GCAA headquarters there in Demarest. Smith flushed out of the pocket looking for some running room. He's got it across the 45, across midfield, and he will be brought down to the 40. This is a guy who doesn't run the football a whole lot. He likes to throw it more than run it, but when he runs it, he is effective. And it looked like Smith might get stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but just able to break that tackle right there, and that's what allowed him to eventually wind up across midfield and inside Bulldog territory. And finally, McCray got a hand on him, able to slow him up a little bit, and teammates converged. Pass incomplete on a 1st down and 10. Smith this season, 23 rush attempts, 58 yards. His long 11. That was his longest run of the season. Football of the 35. We're in his 2nd down and 5. A wall of red and white. And that means there is nowhere for Adonis Tillman to go. And it'll be 3rd and 5. By the way, Dave Elder, thank you very much for watching the coverage. I mentioned Dave, the commissioner of the GCAA. And the text said, I see you made the trip to Utah. Well, sort of. It's kind of a cyber trip. ESPN's got announcers sitting in Bristol, Virginia, calling games all over the country. As I mentioned, a big thank you to Snow College. They're providing the cameras. And a big thank you to the city of Ozark, who is allowing me to sit in Eagle Stadium, a dark Eagle Stadium, the only lights on in the press box. Just got through with some baseball. Calling football in Utah, thank you very much, technology. Freshnick on the catch. And he will pick up the 1st. Inside the 30. Right near the 20. Bounced out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Where it is 1st down and 10. I know some folks might hide the fact. Hey, why hide it? Technology has got some big pluses. Handoff given to Tillman. Tillman battling his way for 2. Down to the 23-yard line. Coming up at half, we will give you a condensed version of JUCO Rush, the All About Junior College Football show. Myself and Mike Frazier. It is about a 28-minute show. Halftime is about 21. So we've kind of, condensed it to about a 21-minute version. To get it to you at halftime, that's 11 minutes, 19 seconds away. Smith Drops back to pass. Looks, fires towards the end zone. Got a receiver open, but it is incomplete. And the incomplete pass will bring up a third down and long situation. Football at the 28. Well, let's see if the Bulldogs can again administer that kind of bend but don't break mentality. We saw it on drive number 2 for Snow College as they drove inside the 15. But the Bulldogs held on downs. Let's see if they can do it again on a 3rd and 9. Pass is swatted away. Nice play defensively by Jorian Haynes. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 9. And decision time for Snow. Do you want 3 to get on the board? If you do, you're looking at about a 40-yarder, roughly. Or do you want to keep the drive alive? Try to pick up the first. And at least at this particular point in time, it looks like they prefer the second option. Going for it on 4th down. Ethan Mann, their field goal kicker, has 1 field goal. It was a 44-yarder. Time out of the field. Let's take the break as well.
Episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Well, this is a big play. A 4th down and 9. Ethan Mann, their field goal kicker, does have a 44-yarder. Only 1 kick on the year, though, so this is typically what Snow does. Smith will go for it on a 4th down, fires, and the pass is caught at the 11. Overstreet, the 5'10 sophomore from San Diego, what a big 4th down play. Keeps the drive alive, and Snow trying to turn it into a 1-score game. 1st down and 10, football at the 12. And Snow converting on a 4th down. They are 1 of 2 in 4th down conversions. And that is Tillman. Tillman making his way inside the 10 down to the 8. Handoff given to Tillman. Tillman trying to find his way into the end zone. He will from 6 yards out. And Snow is on the board. After the Tillman 6-yarder at the 10-minute mark. In stanza number 2. So there have been a pair of 6-yard touchdown runs. Phillips with 1 for Georgia Military College. And Tillman with 1 for Snow. Extra point kick from Mann. Up and good. It's a 10-7 game.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
10 minutes left to play in half number one. Snow on the board. Well, the Bulldogs didn't think they were going to keep the Badgers off the board the entire night. I was kind of hoping for like a 24-zip lead before the Badgers put points on the board, but still, Bulldogs with a separation of a Freddie Perez field goal, leading it by 3. And that is booted into the end zone. It'll be brought out to the 25, and that is where the Bulldogs will begin this drive. Well, I talked about the changes that are coming in the NJCAA. You had Hutch lose. You had Holmes lose. You got Tyler and Kilgore, who are playing today. As a matter of fact, that game should be over. Let me see if I can get you an update. Of course, Kilgore was the number 9 ranked team in the nation, and Tyler knocked them off. So Kilgore will fall out of the top 10. Tyler may be, as a matter of fact, I do believe they are the best 2-loss team in the country. After Georgia Military knocked off Tyler 35-10, they haven't lost a game. Handoff given to Jones, and Jones across the 25 to the 26. And there is an injured Badger. So with the injury timeout, we pause. Just about all white. Jones County diving catches shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Well, Kafasi hopping to the sidelines, the injured Badger. Junior Kafasi, 10 solo tackles, 5 assists. He's got a couple of sacks and a couple of tackles for loss, and he is out of the game. Obviously, we don't want to see anybody go out of a football game due to an injury. So the Badgers and football fans hoping that he gets back into the ball game. Gain of a couple on the Jones carry, and his 2nd down and 8 as we resume to play. Cooper. Give goes up the middle. And not a whole lot of running room. Again, that is Jones on the carry. And he will pick up a couple, bringing up a 3rd down and long. Late start to the football game, 7 p.m. there in Utah, 9 o'clock in Georgia. It is the last football game to get started on this Saturday of football. As you're looking at a 3rd down and 7-ish, Cooper to pass, flushed out of the pocket, trying to pick up the first. He will. Stumbles across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And it is 1st down and 10 for Georgia Military. Well, let's take a look at some of the scores from today. Andrew College 41-3 over the Georgia Warhawks. Mississippi Gulf Coast bombs Kahama 63-zip. Lackawanna all over Hocking 67-12. Tyler, I mentioned that 16-13 win over Kilgore. DuPage beats Sussex 58-21. Central Georgia Tech 42-zip winner over River City Prep. That is an incomplete pass. I believe it was knocked down on the line of scrimmage. And will bring up a 2nd down and 10. Blinn beats Northeastern Oklahoma A&M 42-20. Navarro over Cisco 30-24. Coffeyville 72-7 over Ellsworth. Dodge City edges Independence 23-20. Butler upsetting Hutch 27-22. Iowa Western 38-zip over Garden City. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Cooper running the option, keeps it across the 40. He will find his way to just about midfield, steps out of the 48. And it will be a 1st down and 10 for Georgia Military, looking to respond to the points put on the board moments ago, that 6-yard touchdown run from Tillman. And the Bulldogs just outside of Snow Badger territory. Chip Cooper on the season, 744 yards through the air. 6 touchdowns and an interception. And I've given up the middle. And that'll be Jones making his way inside midfield and inside Badger territory. Good to see Jones back. Struggled with an injury, sat out the Lewisburg game. And then only 6 carries, I think, last week against Andrew College, trying to get back into playing shape, making the trip out to Utah. But you got to believe that where Georgia Military is concerned, a big plus, too, as compared to 2 years ago when the Bulldogs went west, is the fact that they left a day early. Get a little more adjusted to that thin mountain air. Pass is caught, the completion to Jalen Flood, and Flood inside the 40, but there is a penalty flag. Well, that's not typically where you get a hold, so let's see what the infraction is at the 38. And then we'll watch and see who the official visits, because that typically is an indication as to what might be on its way. Let's see if we can pick anything up in the vicinity of the flag. Well, it was right there near the tackle, which often means face mask, and it is an infraction that goes against the Badgers. And that's a big mark off, tacked on to the reception by Flood. Down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line, where it is 1st down and 10, Georgia Military. Nearing the 6-minute mark in half number 1. Cooper on the keeper, up the middle, weaving his way through Badgers. He will make his way inside the 10, down to the 8, but there is a penalty flag, and, well, there could be a hold in that mass of humanity, or it could be all kinds of stuff. We'll see if the nice play from Cooper is nullified, or if it stands based on who committed the infraction. It was thrown somewhere right in there. And another mark off against the Badgers. half the distance from the goal following the Cooper run. And it will be a first down and goal, Georgia Military. Cooper with Jones in the backfield. Actually, that's Kinshin in the backfield. And that big 210-pound bruiser in the backfield. And he will carry the football, and somebody's headgear pops off. Kinshin never went down, but he stopped around the line of scrimmage. Might have actually lost a yard. And it'll bring up a second down and goal. Five minutes, 43 seconds left to play in half number one. 10-7, Georgia Military College lead. Already inside Freddie Perez field goal range. But not thinking about 3 at the moment. Thinking about 9 and 6. 9 yards to a touchdown. Hand off, give it to Phillips. Phillips just bouncing his way to about the 5-yard line. Ball came loose apparently. Badgers say they've got it. Bulldogs say they do. And the officials haven't yet indicated they do now. It is Badger football. So Phillips will cough it up near the 5. And the Badgers will have it, thwarting a Bulldog drive. A long way to pay dirt, but it was a short distance for the Dogs. Ball comes loose, and it is Snow College football. Line of scrimmage, the 5. 5 minutes, 14 seconds left to play in the half. And Donnie Smith trots onto the field. Snow Badger offense in pursuit. Bulldogs onto the turf, 5:14 to play, half number one. Hand off up the middle. Not a whole lot of running room, back to the line of scrimmage. That is Drew Patterson on the carry, his second carry of the night. Well, what you don't want to see is one of those second or third and long, especially third and long. And Snow pick up the first and keep a drive alive. Man, you would love for Snow to be booting that ball out of their end zone, like deep in their own end zone with the heels of the punter. Just barely in fair territory. Smith the pass. Quick toss. It is complete, but not a big gain. Dropped to the 6, might have squeaked out a yard on the pass to Frischnick. Frischnick leading all receivers in the NJCAA with 10 touchdown receptions. Picked up a couple of yards. It'll bring up a third down and 8. Football at the 6. Smith, a swat of the hands, then a look to the sidelines. We get inside, 4 minutes to play, half number one. And there is a timeout on the field asked for by the Bulldogs.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship-trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic
3 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in the half on a 3rd down and long. Pass over the middle is caught, and the drive stays alive. It is snagged over the middle by Overstreet. And that's one of those plays, again, the Bulldogs just were hoping to guard against those 3rd down and long, or those 4th down and long. In this particular case, 3rd and long, deep inside their own territory. One stop and they're kicking. But instead the pass is caught by Overstreet, and this drive will remain alive and a little more breathing room. Smith incomplete, intended for King. King was looking downfield before having possession of the football. And the incomplete pass will bring up a 2nd and 10. Georgia Military picking off a Smith pass on the opening drive of the football game. Eventually, Perez boots one through from 33 yards away. Bulldogs take the lead. They have not relinquished it here in half number 1. 2nd down and 10. Smith over the middle. King with a catch. And he will make his way to the 30-yard line. Of course, at the 2-minute mark, you get the 2-minute timeout. They don't call it a warning in the NJCAA. Not sure why. But it still works as a 2-minute timeout. Gain of 8 on the play to King. 3rd down and 2. That might have been a broken up play. And they're not, well, that second effort might have got him near the first down marker, Matt Wilson. Boy, it looked like it's kind of discombobulated in the backfield. But it is enough for the 1st and 10, football at the 35. And reminder, at halftime, we quickly get into the JUCO rush. It's a 21-minute show, actually maybe a little longer than 21 minutes, with about 21 minutes in your half. Snow flushed out of the pocket, got a receiver open. What a pop put on the running back Patterson coming out of the backfield. He will make the catch, and that will get us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in half number 1. Bulldogs by 3.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. It's you, I felt this way before, you know it's true. It's still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Second down and 5 coming out of the 2-minute timeout, and hammered to the turf. Ball is loose. Smith holding it with one hand, comes loose, but it looks like Patterson might have hopped on it and kept it for the Badgers. Wow, what an opportunity missed by Georgia Military. Smith had that ball out in one hand, and when he popped the turf, the ball came loose. But Patterson alertly falls on it. And they wind up losing just a yard back to the 39, where it is 3rd down and 6. Pass caught at midfield. That is King again. And those DBs giving a little extra cushion, respecting the passing game of Snow. And able to pick up the first is King. To the 49-yard line. 1 minute, 10 seconds to play in the half. Smith Fires. Got a receiver right over the middle. That is Overstreet, and Overstreet down to the 20. Just outside of the red zone, and knocking on the door is Snow. Overstreet able to sidestep a would-be tackler there in Jabari Baker. And there is an injured Bulldog. Well, he is up and going to the sidelines. Looks like we may not take a break as a result of the injury unless a timeout was called, and might have been. Well, keep in mind, this is a drive that started at the 5 after the Keenan Phillips fumble. And it's now down to the 20. Smith trying to get it to King. King slipped while trying to make the catch. Incomplete. 46 seconds remaining. And a 2nd down and 10. Football just outside of the red zone. Again, if you're thinking about tying the game before going into the locker room at halftime, they've got a kicker in Ethel Mann, who has knocked one through from 44 yards away. That's the only one he's put through the uprights this year, but he did it from 44 out. Little flea flicker. Patterson to Overstreet to Smith. And an incomplete pass. Did a flag come out? It did. And one would assume that is offensive pass interference. Boy, just to hang with the defender, well, was leaning maybe a little bit into the receiver. Jakari Jones. And there you see the call. And there you see Rob Manchester is not a happy camper. And now you got an unsportsmanlike on Manchester. So an additional infraction. Did not think it was pass interference. So a pass interference and an unsportsmanlike call, and Snow with 45 seconds left to play in the half will be in excellent shape. And let's see exactly where, but it's going to be very close. I would ponder a guess of inside the 5. Let's see. How about the 6? Nope. There they go. Inside the 5 down to about the 3. First down and goal. Well, we've been talking about that bend, don't break Georgia military defense. Here's a place that you really don't want to break. You've been bent. It is a drive that went from 1-5 to the other. Fake to Patterson, Smith, and that is a touchdown toss. Into the hands of the big tight end, Caden Agate. And the 3-yard touchdown toss will give Snow their first lead of the game. And it happens with 39 seconds remaining in the half. And it follows a pass interference and an unsportsmanlike call. Man with the extra point kick. It's good.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
(14-10) Snow lead. First 10 points of the game. Georgia Military next. 14 Snow. And the return out to the 20, and that's where the Bulldogs will take over. First down and 10. So a 95-yard touchdown drive. And the last three, Agate on the receiving end of a Smith 3-yard touchdown strike. And the Badgers have got their first lead of the football game. A half minute left to play. Cooper on the keeper, up the middle. He'll be wrapped up after a gain of 2. And let's see if the Bulldogs, who will get the football first in the second half, are content with the 4-point halftime deficit. It appears they are. Maybe not content, but that's what they're going to take into the locker room at halftime. It is halftime. Snow with a 14-10 lead. Let's hop right into our halftime feature, the JUCO Rush.
It's a low snap. The kick is up. It is good. There, Lindsay kicks it through 27-24. There are 1.8 seconds left in the
left tip. 2 receivers to the near side. The snap and the handoff. Lacey cuts inside. Lacey through the gap. Lacey spins through a tackle. Lacey is going to house it. DeJuan Lacey opens it up for a big old Brockbuster touchdown. 13:25 to go in the first. In front of him, so he just squirted free for the first down. 2 receivers to the far side of the formation on the near side hash is the offense. Driving from right to left, handoff. Lacey. Lacey bounced off a tackle with a stiff arm. Lacey to the 10, to the 5. He's going to house it. You better believe it. It's a big old Brockbuster touchdown. DeJuan Lacey gets another touchdown on the evening, and it's going to extend the lead 27-0.
Welcome into the JUCO Rush. You hear that name? DeJuan Lacey. It's a name we've been talking about for 5 weeks. 5 straight 100-plus rushing yard games. Picked up a crucial win against the quality Butler team last week. Special thanks to Holmes Athletics for that video and also Garden City for that video. I'm Mike Frazier. This is the JUCO Rush. He's Robert Williamson. Robert, big-time victories for Holmes, Garden City, and also Tyler last week. Those are my big 3 takeaways.
And big 3 for me as well. Come from behind win, 13 points in the fourth quarter for Holmes to remain unbeaten. And yeah, what about that Tyler team? They are the best 2-loss team in the country.
No doubt. And look, Garden City, we talked about DeJuan Lacey, group of 5 guy, 4th in rushing yards with 729, 3rd in all-purpose yards with 135 yards a game, tied for 4th in touchdowns with 9. And look, how about Tyler? What a defensive performance. They shut out Cisco. I mean, you shut out anybody, you're a rock star. But listen to some of these names. You know Darian White. We've had him on the JUCO Rush. You know Will Cornelis, and he's been a player of the week on the JUCO Rush. How about this name? Knowledge Davis, 3 sacks last week. How about Sam Fongang, all right, with a pick 6. On that defensive line, Ziggy Loa, 5 sacks, 7 TFLs this year. I mean, Tyler looks tough.
They're the real deal. I realize Kilgore's got a better mark overall with a 4-1 record and a better ranking in the NJCAA polls. Tyler, right now, things could change, but Tyler's the best team in Texas.
And let's take a look at the NJCAA poll, as Robert alluded to. You see the NJCAA latest poll. Robert, the committee again is going to have some tough decisions to make in about a month or so, right? You could see this thing shaping up again, where you can have, again, 5 or 6 teams that are legitimate contenders for those 4 slots.
Oh, indeed, and I'm still sticking with my guns. Everybody's going to be at least once beaten, and I don't think any 2 lost teams are going to get in. I'm sticking with it, man.
Hutch is not going to get beat. No way.
We'll see.
Not going to happen. I don't think so. All right, let's take a look at the JUCO Rush, our 4. We got our 6 teams. You see me, Hutchinson, number 1, just a machine. I mean, as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, Hutch rocking and rolling. I mean, they just win. Iowa Western at number 2. Scott Strohmeyer plays the toughest schedule in the country year in and year out. Garden City, 309 yards on the ground, are my number 3. I moved Holmes into number 4. Quality road win against Itawamba. Not a slight on Georgia Military, but Holmes is quality. That was a gut check win, and they got it done. They're my number 4. I moved Georgia Military to number 5, and I'm high on Mississippi Gulf Coast at number 6.
Mike, we're going to rehash some stuff we talked about a week ago. I've got 3 questions for you before I step into that, though, and that is, are you smoking some wacky weed? I mean, is it legal in Illinois? If that not be the case, is there some mind-altering medication, or do you have a UTI?
On Garden City?
Yes.
I don't know why you're so stubborn on Garden City.
How about the fact they have the opponents that they have knocked off are a combined 12-26 on the year, whereas Georgia Military, their teams they have defeated are a combined 30-12. And we've already talked about only loss Georgia Military has was the then one, now to Iowa Western. Garden City's loss of the season was to Navarro by 14. I don't understand why you've got them ahead of Georgia Military.
Look, their schedule is stout. They're 6-1. They lost the first game of the year against a good team. Look, you make it sound like Navarro is one of these prep teams. Navarro's a pretty good football team. Navarro might get one of those slots in the Texas playoff system. You're just stubborn. You know, this is who you are. This is what you do. You get in your wife will tell you the same thing. You get in that corner and, you know, you're just not going to come out of it. You rather hope you're right rather than just admit it. And see, this is easy for you to say now because they're playing Iowa Western this weekend and you're thinking, well, Iowa Western's going to beat Garden City. And I can tell everybody next week, this is what I'm talking. They run the football. They've got Tyler Nelson at quarterback. They've got Zamari Gary. They've got, of course, DeJuan Lacey. I got news for you. They got their original starting quarterback coming back. Zoe Harper probably going to play this weekend. They've got Bobo McKinnon and Jeremiah Caldwell in the backfield up there in the defensive back position. Robert, these 2 guys are tied in the country with 4 interceptions. Bobo has 7 blocks or 7 pass breakups. I am high on Garden City. And the numbers bear it out, Robert. You know, the numbers just bear it out. And I've just given you multiple facts, but I get it. You missed the boat on it, and now you're hoping my ship sinks so you could tell me so.
Garden City against teams they have victories of are 2-5. That's the average record of the teams they have defeated. 2-5. Georgia Military and the teams they have beaten an average 5-2 mark. I don't know if you ever watched The Office, Michael Scott talking about, you know, snap, 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 snap. I mean, come on, man. It's Georgia Military has got the obvious gain over in Garden City based on how they fared against the opposition, how they fared against top-ranked teams in the country, and their wins have been against quality teams. Garden City has struggled. They struggled with Coffeyville.
How many prep teams has Garden City played? How many prep teams
I
has
will give
Georgia
you that.
Military played?
I will give you that.
So how can you not slot Garden City in front of Georgia Military? And I love Rob Manchester. It's not a dig on it. This is the way it is. I'm high on Georgia Military. But when you're going to start comparing this, you just don't have an argument there. I mean, Garden City is the number 3 team in the country.
One prep team for Georgia Military. That was the season opener, which, by the way, I think Garden City lost, right? Yeah, they lost that season opener.
Okay. Well, looking at your 6 here, I mean, I really can't argue with it. Those are all quality teams. You've got Snow at 6, Gulf Coast at 5. I mean, we're pretty much right there. So, yeah, I mean, I like your board, but who do you think, who's going to beat Hutch? You think Hutch is going to lose a football game? I mean, I guess it could happen. It's athletics, it's sports, it's unpredictable. But if that's what you're banking it on, I'm certainly not going to jump on your train for that.
Well, here's the irony to this conversation. You know who I think might beat them is Garden City. But the reason I think Garden City might beat them is because they've got kind of a murderer's row. They've had the first game against Coffeyville. Now, I will credit Hutchinson by putting a break in the midst of that 4-game, tough game slate. But I just don't think anybody's going to go through the game. I'm sticking with those guns despite how impressive Hutch looks right now.
And look, Snow's not on my top 6, but no need to fear. I think Snow and Northwest are right there. If they win out on my JUCO Rush top teams, Snow is a really good football team. So we'll see. They've got a big one against Georgia Military this weekend. They've got to go to New Mexico Military. So we'll see how that plays out. But I am high on Snow. I'm high on Northwest. But at this juncture, based on the body of work, I'm very comfortable with the 4 teams I have and the 2 banging on the door.
Want your team or business to truly stand out? Look no further than SportFX Designs. They specialize in high-impact sports graphics that demand attention. Whether it's custom animated logos, sleek animations, or full branding solutions, SportFX Designs delivers professional, eye-catching visuals that elevate your brand. Head over to www.sportfxdesigns.com and see how they can bring your vision to life. And again, thank you very much, Blake. What a great job Blake at SportFX does.
Yeah, solid. Great job, Blake. Welcome aboard and good to have you on board. This podcast, the JUCO Rush, also brought to you by Pepsi. Allen Beverages down at Gulfport, Mississippi. Refreshingly local since 1947. Allen Beverages, Pepsi distributor, Pepsi down there in Gulfport, Mississippi. It's good to have them on board as well. Robert, the JUCO Weekly Top 5. Let's take a look at this is a list where these are guys that are strong contenders right now, in our opinion, for the JUCO Weekly Trophy, which goes out to the best JUCO player in the country. It will be awarded on December 17th down in Texas at the banquet of the national championship game. We are thrilled to partner with the NJCAA and help promote this event, as this is really an opportunity to showcase the great talent around the country in the NJCAA. Robert, I see your board. Walk us through it.
Well, Hunter Deckers, I think he's on everybody's board. I look to your board and I see he's there as well. This guy is the real deal. We keep talking about him week in, week out. He stays. And we've talked about how fluid these top 5 can be. He's been one of those mainstays. He's been on your list, my list, I think all season long. Hunter Deckers of Iowa Western. Another guy that's been on our list, both lists all season long, is Wayman Jordan, the running back for Hutch. And this guy just doesn't disappoint. Every time he steps onto the turf, he is producing for the Blue Dragons. He stays in my top 5. Keenan Phillips, 2 more TDs. This guy just continues to score. And he also, by the way, caught a couple of passes for 21 yards. And he ran the ball a mere 4 times for 80-plus yards this past week against Andrew College. Keenan Phillips stays in my top 5. Darian White, the linebacker from Tyler. Man, Tyler is tough, and one of the reasons is the linebacker. And making it back into my top 5 from Holmes, Dondreas Giles. I mean, he's already returned 3 picks, 4 touchdowns, but this past week, 11 tackles, 3 broken up passes. He's back in my top 5.
Oh, absolutely. Just a heck of a football player. Boy, you talk about linebacker Darian White, ranks first with 85 total tackles, first at 12.1 tackles per game. That's why he's on my list. And then Fresh Walters from Iowa Western leads the nation right now in receptions, and he is making it happen. Of course, Donnie Smith, another guy that is certainly deserving. I mean, that is a guy that leads the country with 25 touchdown passes, and he has his team right in the thick of it for a NJCAA postseason berth. That a glance at the JUCO Weekly Trophy Chase. All right, Robert, now we always have this debate, pre-production, post-production, going back and forth during the week. So, we're far enough into the season now where I want to look at the top wide receivers that I have. I'm going to give you my guys first. I think the number 1 receiver in the country, that man right there, Marcellus Jackson from Tennessee, plays for Southwest Mississippi Community College down in Pike County in Summit, Mississippi. Marcellus, I know we've got some photos of him that we want to put up there. That guy is just getting it done. Look. Here's Marcellus. Ranks first, league best, 92 yards a game. He's second in yards with 643. I mean, he is making it happen. He's only 5'8". That's what's impressive. I've talked to coaches around the MACCC, and they all say, the ones I talked to say he's the best wide receiver in the conference. So that's my guy right there. Marcellus Jackson, just a terrific football player. And even though he's listed as a sophomore, Robert, this guy could come back again and play next year as well. Same with the other wide receiver, DeMarco Blanton. So, but that's my guy right there. Look at how tough he is. 5'8". They say he punches above his weight, and you see it. If you watch film, you know why. My number 2 guy in the country, Titus Myers, Iowa Western, the freshman from Statesville, North Carolina, 6'2", 175. My 3rd guy, Fresh Walters, Iowa Western, a redshirt freshman, 5'10", $180 out of Fort Pierce, Florida. 4, J.P. Coulters. They're not a clutch guy that is a go-to guy for Mississippi Gulf Coast. That's my number 4 guy, sophomore out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Used to live in Ocean Springs, great city. Great town. And then I'm going Darian Bryant. I know Highland has struggled in the win column the last few weeks. Not Darian Bryant. This man, 34 receptions, 4 touchdowns, ranks 3rd at 84 yards a game, ranks 1st with 676 yards a game. Guys, these are the best 5 receivers in the country in order. Topping that list, Marcellus Jackson.
Mike, I almost agree with you. I mean, these are 5 great receivers. You've got 5 great guys. I'm swapping out one, Titus Myers, for Reggie Freshnick. I haven't swapped the team. I've just swapped the player. Reggie Freshnick, 10 touchdowns as a freshman. He's one of the top receivers in the country as far as yardage and yardage per catch. Reggie's got to be on my top 5. I'm a little surprised he's not on your top 5, but you've got 5 great guys. I think I've got 5 too. I'll put my 5 against your 5 any day of the week.
Hey, let's dance. I stand by my top 5, and your top 5 are quality guys. But those are the 5 best receivers in the NJCAA. All right, keys to the game here. Let's go after it here. Robert, I'm going to start out Holmes at Northwest. Huge football game, particularly for Northwest as far as their national championships hopes are concerned, or playoffs are, because they do have 1 loss. Look, I'm going with Demarion Petit. Give me Northwest at Holmes. At home against Holmes, until you can knock off a Benji Parker or Northwest. I need to see it to believe it. I have a lot of respect for Holmes. I think Northwest, you look at some of their numbers, Robert, they're pretty strong rushing the football. So got to pull my notes out here. I've got it in here, Robert. Let me find it here. Northwest defense, giving up 272 a game. That ranks 14th. Their rushing rank is 12th, just giving up 97 yards. So let's see what Chase Richardson, the quarterback for Holmes, can do in that one. I like Demarion Petit, one of the top rushers in the country. They chew that clock. Give me Northwest. Then I'm going to go Iowa Western and Garden City. Give me Garden City in this one. The Garden City is going to take care of it here. And I have a lot of respect for Iowa Western and Scott Strohmeyer. I just think the timing is great for Garden City. It's a home game. They lead the country in rushing with 308 yards a game. They've got 2 quality quarterbacks now in there, 2 good running backs. They've got Division I offensive linemen, that secondary with Bobo McKinnon and Jeremiah Caldwell. Look, Hunter Deckers did it against Hutchinson, threw for over 400 yards. Okay. But man, the numbers just do not add up for me. Iowa Western defense, yards per game, giving up 352. That ranks 30th. That's just too tall of an order. You talk about Garden City. They run the football. They rush the football. DeJuan Lacey's banging on the door to get on that JUCO Weekly Trophy. He has a good game against a quality opponent like Iowa Western. He will be there next week. I'm going Garden City.
Man, it looks like we're going to disagree on your two. I'm going with Holmes. And I'm going with Iowa Western. I learned a long time ago that you just don't bet against Scott Strohmeyer. The odds are that if you stick with him, you're good to go. You go against him, could be problems. I'm going with the Reavers, and I'm going with the Bulldogs. Mine two games. I've got East Central and Copiah Lincoln as one of the key games. I don't know how you could get any more key in the South. Where East Central is concerned, if you win the game, you are the number 1 seed in the South. If you lose the game, you're out. Colin, you win, you're 2. If you lose the game, you're out. East Central, a chip on their shoulder. Some of that chip removed when they knocked off Mississippi Gulf Coast. I think they beat Colin at East Central in Decatur, Mississippi. And then Georgia Military College and Snow College, 3 and 4 in the NJCAA polls. Man, this is going to be a battle. I'm going with the Bulldogs by a Freddie Perez field goal. I'm thinking they're in there a day early so they get used to that thin Utah air after coming out of that muggy South Georgia air. I'm going with the Dogs over the Badgers and East Central over Colin.
I'm going to take East Central. I thought they'd get the number 2 seed out of the South Division when the season started. This is their moment. Be a great football game. Give me East Central in that one. Again, a lot of respect for Glenn Davis. Wouldn't surprise me to see Colin win, but I'm going with the Warriors. They're ranked 2 this time for the first time this year by the NJCAA. Tip of the cap to Jonathan Webster and his staff, what they're doing down there in Decatur, Mississippi. I'm going to take the Badgers. Snow at home. Donnie Smith and company. I just think it's a long way to travel. And I think that plays a role in it. I think in a great football game, Snow wins this one. 24-21. All right, Robert, any parting shots?
I think I've taken them already. I'd be shooting blanks.
All right, if Garden City wins this weekend, I expect to see them and at least get in there in your top 5.
What about top 6? We'll talk.
All right. This has been the JUCO Rush. Robert, great to see you down there in Florella, Alabama. We'll talk to you next week. I'm Mike Frazier from downtown Chicago. So long, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back as we get set for second half action here on JockJive. And again, I'm not hiding any of the facts. The facts are we are not in Utah. I'm in Alabama. I am sitting in the city of Ozark's historic Eagle Stadium where we had baseball all day today. As a matter of fact, literally, the last baseball game ended 6 minutes as you got an onside kick. Snow catching the Bulldogs offsides, and they will negate the possession of the Dogs with the onside kick executed to perfection, and the Bulldogs just didn't anticipate it, didn't know it was coming. And the Bulldogs won't have the advantage of the first possession in the second half. It will be Snow College. What a big play for Snow. Recovering the onside kick. But as I was mentioning, we have, with the permission of Snow College, access to the video. Thank you very much, Snow. Gary Chidester, the guy who's in charge of the video there, has been so helpful in so many different ways. So thank you very much, Gary, for access to video to be able to bring you coverage. And to the city of Ozark. As I mentioned, I'm sitting in Eagle Stadium in the press box. Everybody else is gone, all the lights off, except right here in the box. I asked, they said, sure. I appreciate Ozark. Thank you for watching. And we're into the second half. By the way, I don't have control over the graphics. That's why there's a, well, hey, I can make the same mistake and put a second up there when it's the third stanza, but don't have control of the graphics, too, to be able to put up a phone number. But I know you want to do shout-outs in the third. It's what we do in the third stanza, right? So if you want to send a shout-out, can't post it, but I can tell you. 334-488-1385. That is Wilson the carry. And he will be dropped to the 48. Well, this is where Georgia Military determines whether they are ready to bow up and get ticked at the fact they gave up the onside kick and didn't have the first possession of the second half, or they just, decide to call it a football game. I don't think they're going to call it a football game. There's plenty of stuff left, like the entire second half, and it's only a 4-point difference. And on the line is the ability to play in the postseason. You absorb a couple of losses, especially this late in the year, you're probably not playing in the Final Four. So there is a lot of motivational factors for Georgia Military. Snow flushed out of the pocket. Smith looking for running room. Up to about the line of scrimmage. And it will be 4th down and long. And you would assume a punting situation. But here's the number you want to shout out. Let's do it in the third. 334-488-1385. 334-488-1385. Got a shout out to number 8, Keenan Phillips. For the Ramies in Monroe, Georgia, saying go Dogs. Boy, if the Bulldogs get the football, don't have a problem here with a penalty, don't have a problem with a muffed punt return, this is big. Because it, in essence, negates what Snow College negated. It gave Snow College the football, but they weren't able to benefit from having the football on the opening drive of the second half. So it is back to the Bulldogs at the 12:46 mark. 334-488-1385 to send shout-outs. And we will do it all. Third stanza long. First down and 10. Bulldogs with their first possession of the second half. Football at the 26-yard line. In the first half, Bulldogs outrushed Snow College 112-87. Snow College outpassed Georgia Military. There is a turnover, and the ball is right back into the hands of Snow. Stripped from the hands of Cooper and Georgia Military with the football back over to Snow. Let's see what happened on the replay. Right there, just popped out of the hands. Well, we've got a lot of negating going on. And now it is Snow with the football. Ken Frank sending a shout-out, saying go Dogs. Ken, how you doing? Man, wouldn't it be great to host a postseason game, I think in November or December. But good to have you watching. Shout-out to our grandson, J.C. Coney, number 31 for the Bulldogs, from Nana in Ohio. Love you, says the shout-out. 334-488-1385. Not a whole lot of room up the middle for Tomlinson. And it'll bring up a second down and 10. Ephraim, Utah, home to the Badgers, home to Snow College. And that's where the Bulldogs are in the Badger House. Trying to come away with a win as the third-ranked team in the country and stay in the top 5. Maybe move to 2, but you got to win the ball game. Smith firing over the middle. And it is caught for a touchdown. That is King gathering in the TD, I believe. Let's wait and see. They're battling for possession. King says he's got it. Haven't seen the officials rule, and now they do. Touchdown, Smith finding King. And Snow will take a 21-10 lead. 16-yard touchdown strike. 11:58 to go in the quarter. Just great positioning for King, and Smith right on the money. And 21 unanswered points for Snow.
You got me falling hard. Sweet baby, you got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Snow College taking a 21-10 lead. This is a big potential drive. Georgia Military College with the football out on the 19-yard line on the kickoff return by Bland. And that is where the Bulldogs will take over first down and 10. I know there's a lot of football to go. But, man, you want to respond now to the Snow College score that has bumped the lead up to 11. Bunch of shout-outs coming in. Shout-out to Kamari Gray, number 63, GMC. Much love from mom and family back in Fayetteville, Georgia. Go Bulldogs. Shout-out to Trenton, number 19, from mom and sis. Shout-out to number 16, Mikkel Roberts, from mom and JB and Warner Robbins. Let's crank it up, Bulldogs. Shout-out to my guy, GMC Bulldog number 31, J.C. Coney, as the handoff is given up the middle. Falling forward to the 20 for a gain of a yard or two. That is Keenan Phillips. And that shout out to J.C. Coney from Mr. Nathan. Staying up late to watch y'all bring home the win. It is late in the Eastern time zone. 10:38. It might be Sunday morning before this one wraps up. Well, maybe not. Shout out to Bulldogs number 41, Walker Hicks, from Aunt Shannon, watching in Roswell, Georgia. Third stanza play, 11:13 to go in the quarter. Cooper firing and fires incomplete. Smith, the intended target. And it will bring up a third down and long, 3rd down and 8. Clock stopped with 11:06 to play in the third. And Snow College, which wasn't clicking on all cylinders early, has shifted that momentum in their favor. Bulldogs trying to shift it back. Trying to set up the screen pass to Phillips, incomplete. And it'll be a punting situation for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs, 3 and out, 4th down and 8. Punting situation. The boot from the 5. Fair catch called for and made at the 40. Brought in by Titan Saxton. And that is where Snow College will take over first down and 10. Boy, we've talked about it over and over again, how significant these drives are. But now it is in the hands of the defense of Georgia Military, trying to stop Snow from putting more points on the board. They put 21 in a row, down 10-zip. When they started this run of 3 consecutive touchdowns and 3 consecutive extra point kicks. Handoff up the middle. Wilson to the line of scrimmage. No gain, bringing up a 2nd down and 10. Smith firing, and it is incomplete. Trying to get it to Stephon Sellers, the incomplete pass, bringing up a 3rd and 10. Shout out to number 78, Charlie Allen, from the Ashley family. We are so proud of you. Shout out to Jordan Beebe McCray, Latoya and Kanye from McRae, Georgia, and happy birthday on Tuesday from all the Lumber City family as well. Love you, Keenan Phillips, from Grandma and Papa watching. 3rd down and 10. This has been the Achilles heel of the Bulldogs, but not here. Smith will be dropped at the 33. And there is a Bulldog down as Smith is dropped for a 7-yard loss. And it will bring up a 4th down and 17, but there you see the injury. We're back after this.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Good to see the injury not significant. It is booted away by Snow. Fair catch called for and made at the 31. Well, you talk about concentration in traffic. All kinds of bodies heading your direction. And Darrell Bland Jr. able to hang on to the football. And it'll be Georgia Military College football, 1st down and 10. Let me say thanks to Scott McLeod, handling the play-by-play last week against Andrew College. And he'll be handling the play-by-play next week against Clayton State. Paul Travitsky producing. And 2, where Georgia Military College coverage is concerned, we don't go to Lackawanna. Lackawanna has a pay-per-view option, and that's part of the fundraising for the program. Cooper across the 40 to the 42. So they have asked that we not show up to Scranton, PA, the fictional home of the fictional TV series The Office. So we will be in Milledgeville next week for Clayton State. And we're hoping we are back for some postseason in some shape, form, or fashion. Incomplete pass, Cooper. Over in the vicinity, you had Smith, and also in the neighborhood was Tarmer. And that was the design of the play. You've got a 3rd down and very short, just inches. Why not air it out? See if you can hit something big, and then come back and pick up the 1st down. So here's the second part of that plan. You got to pick up the 1st. And you got it offside, so they've got it without the snap of the football. At least I think so, unless somebody moved that I did not see. Shout out to Quan Floyd, number 20, from your number 1 fan mama. Love you and proud of you. Go Bulldogs. Shout out to number 2, Trayvon Kinchin. For mom and dad, we're rooting for you. Let's go Dogs. And here comes that 5-yard mark off for offsides. All 3rd stands along your shout outs. 334-488-1385. First down and 10, football at the 46. Dogs trying to snap that string of unanswered points. Handoff is given to, I believe that is Jones. Jones sidestepping Badgers. Check that. That is the first carry of the night. Kyrie Fuller. And Fuller picks up 8, brings up a 2nd down and 8, football at the 47. Stepped out of bounds. That stops the clock with 9:09 to go in quarter number 3. Fuller again, the guy in motion. Jones in the backfield. Cooper to pass. Steps up. Fires over to Kinchin, who is in the backfield. And Kinchin making his way inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. That is just the second reception of the year for Kinchin. Needed 2, got right at 9. Flipped over by Cooper. I'm not sure Kinchin even thought he was going to be on the receiving end of a pass on that particular play, but he was, and picks up the first. It is first down and 10. Cooper keeps it dropped immediately. And a big defensive play. Jesse Wilson, the sophomore defensive lineman, stepping in to snuff out Cooper, turn it into a second down and 10. And actually maybe a second and 12. Looked like he lost a couple of yards. So second down and 12, football back to the 41. Shout out to Jairus Coney, number 31, from your G-Mon Papa in Eastman, Georgia. We're proud of you and we love you. Mrs. Branch, God is good. Cooper breaking tackles, and he will pick up the first inside the 30, down to about the 27. So Chip Cooper, with nobody to go to via the air, they're going to say he is a yard shy. Boy, I thought he had the first. Got inside the 30. They say he stepped out of the 29 versus down to the 27. Third down and short. And one would assume this is 4-down territory for the Bulldogs. Handoff given to Jones. He's got the first. Pops through down to the 25, still on his feet. Down to the 20, to the 19 goes Jones. So first and 10 at the 19 for Georgia Military. Traquan Jones, number 2 ground gainer on the year for the Bulldogs. 469 coming in. And you got penalty flags flying. And let's see what the infraction is. It was called early, offsides. Charge to the Badgers. .6:24 to play in the football game. Georgia Military trying to make it a one-score game with a quarter and a half to go. It is a first down and 5. Shout out to number 38, DeQuarian Stanley, a.k.a. Day Day. Good luck. Mama loves you. Go Bulldogs. The blue heart emoji. And the little kiss emoji. Incomplete pass. Intended for Tarver. And it'll bring up a second down and 5. Exactly 6 minutes to play in the third. Good luck, number 46, Cole Schneider. Love you, your Thompson family in Statesboro, Georgia. Fuller in motion. Cooper on the keeper. Pounds his way inside the 5. Has the first and goal, GMC. Just that burst up the middle. And down to the 4. Cooper trying to get around the end, down to the 2, where it is second and goal. Georgia Military trying to put their first points on the board. Since, let's see, the last points came from Phillips at the 14:52 mark, opening play of the second stanza. So it has almost been a quarter and a half since the Bulldogs have put points on the board. Here it is 3rd down and goal. Got Cooper in the backfield, Jones to his side, got a timeout on the field, and with the pause in action, we break 2.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Well, you see how close the football is to the end zone. You might could get a sliver of notebook paper between it and the end zone. Bulldogs got that big Bubba package working. Phillips in the backfield. Direct snap. He will pound his way in from a yard out. Haven't seen the officials indicate, but I sure think that's a 6 from this vantage point. Bulldogs saying is there, the official will rule a touchdown from a yard away. Keenan Phillips. And the Bulldogs are an extra point kick away from making a 4-point game. Perez on to try to tack on the extra one. And with 4:35 to go in the third, Keenan Phillips again, this time from a yard out. His second touchdown of the evening. Extra point kick. Well, let's wait a minute. It's good, but there is a flag. So let's hold it here and see if the infraction is against the Badgers or the Bulldogs. Looks like it must be Badgers. And the Bulldogs will accept the point and trim it to a 4-point game.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bug House Pest Control. Protect your house with Bug House.
A personal foul, and it will be assessed now on the kickoff. So the point was good. Perez through the uprights, 21-17 game. And now with the personal foul, you got the mark off to midfield. Should we have a reciprocating onside kick? I mean, this is a great place to do it. I mean, if you boot it into the end zone, you're only talking about a difference of about, 15 yards? Maybe a little more than that. 25 yards? Well, let's see what the Bulldogs opt to do, kicking it from midfield. Well, they will boot it away. So it'll be brought out to the 25-yard line, and that is where the Badgers will take over. First down and 10. Well, the element of surprise, too, plays a key role in those onside kicks like Snow did to begin the second half. So there wasn't the powerful element of surprise with the ball in midfield. Kind of slightly, possibly anticipated by the Badgers. So into the end zone, out to the 25. And it is first down and 10 for the Badgers. Leading it by 4. Smith the throw. Steps up, fires long, and it's incomplete. King the intended target, but a Bulldog with him stride for stride. And the incompletion brings up a second down and 10. Four and 28 to go in the third. In a 21-17 contest, Badgers ranked number 4 in the country. Georgia Military number 3. 1 has been beaten today. 2 has won today. I'm trying to remember who else is in there. 5 was it Garden City? They've gotten beat. 9 was Kilgore. They got beat. Nowhere for Tomlinson to go. Drop behind the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a third down and long. Big play here. And again, this has been that Achilles heel over the course of the season, the third and long. And let's see if the Bulldogs can stop, hold, and force a punt. Smith fires, and it is caught. But is it for the first? A little bit shy, a yard short. Now decision time for the Badgers. And I wouldn't think you're doing a whole lot of thinking about this. I would think you are going to boot it away. I mean, a yard, granted, isn't a whole lot to pick up. Time out of the field due to the injured player. Back after this.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
What do you do on a 4th down and 1 if you're a Snow College from your own 34-yard line? Boot it away, go for it, risk the opportunity of not picking up the first and giving up the ball back to the Bulldogs. Wow. At least at the moment, it appears they are going to go for it on 4th and short. Now, this might be an attempt to draw the Bulldogs off sides. Nope, they are going for it. And he will cross the 20. I make that the 35 to pick up the first. Oh, that was a gutsy play by Snow. I thought maybe they were going to try to draw the Bulldogs off sides. But deep inside their own territory, up by only 4. One score changes the leaderboard. Snow, though, confidence in their offense. And picks up the yard necessary to get the first down and a new set of downs at the 35-yard line. Smith drops back, looks, finds an open target at the 39, and one missed tackle has got Tomlinson inside the 30 down to the 29. That is the difference between a short and a big gain. Just that missed tackle of Tomlinson about 5 yards upfield. And right there, Tomlinson off to the races down to the 29-yard line. Alone to bring down. And it is 1st and 10 for Snow. Handoff given Wilson. Wilson trying to find some running room. Tiny little gaps. And we'll pick up 3. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. As we near the 2-minute mark in the 3rd. Second down 7, football at the 26-yard line. Smith with Wilson in the backfield. Fake to Wilson. Pass is caught and upended near the 19-yard line. That is the tight end, Kache Kaeo. And appears as though he's got the first or is very close. Depends upon the spot, but where he landed and where they have spotted the football. No, just about a half yard shy. Hey, a reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And I think we've got a little miscue on the other side of the broadcast, and that, of course, is Snow College. But again, as I mentioned, Snow is giving us access to the video, and everybody makes boo-boos. I'm the king of mistakes, so I understand when something goes awry. But we're going to be able to see the play as Wilson is just spun around and doesn't get much out of it. And it'll bring up a 4th down situation again. One of those 4th down and shorts. This one, though, maybe not quite as risky, not quite as riverboat gambler type for Snow, as was the football at their own 29 with a 4th and a little longer. Here it is 4th and pretty short. And you got the Bulldogs jumping off sides. Now the question is, of course, was he drawn off sides? And no. There's the 5-yard mark off. So it'll be a 1st down for the Badgers. And the 5-yard mark off is a 1st down and 10. Badgers 21-17 game in the 3rd. Closing moments of the stanza. There you see the hop. Well, I guess when you see the end result, of course the hop probably had an impact on the coverage, but when you see the possible end result, maybe you can handle the offsides a little bit better. 1st down and 10. And I think Snow is going to let time expire. We have played 3, and the Badgers by 4.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Well, the 3rd has not officially come to an end. 1.7 seconds remaining after a discussion. That 1.7 put back on the clock. Timeout was called. Ball is loose. It is picked up by the Bulldogs. Across the 30. Still on his feet. To the 40. To midfield. Inside Badger territory. That is Jordan McCray. Fumble picked up and returned nullifies the Badgers' effort to score. And the Bulldogs inside territory that belongs to the Badgers. What a huge turn of events to put an end to the stanza. He had a pick earlier. He's got a fumble here.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Georgia Military with the football after the McCray fumble return. And the Bulldogs inside Badger territory as we get stanza number 4 underway. Football at the 42. It is second down and 6 after the pickup on a first down play. Wow. Badgers looked like they were poised to get into the end zone or at least get 3 out of it. Extended to a 7-point lead or maybe more. But McCray again comes up big. Had the pick earlier. And gets the fumble recovery here. Cooper drops back, fires. It is caught at the 33-yard line. Joshua Okele on the reception. And the Bulldogs picking up a first at the 35. Cooper again over the middle. Incomplete or picked off. And it's picked off according to the Badgers. Is it picked off according to the officials? Wow, that was just a rocket. Ricocheted off the target and apparently dropped in the hands of a Badger. I don't even know if the receiver knew it was coming. Just doink the helmet. And the Badgers will get it back. Inside 14 to play. Still plenty of time left in this football game. As a matter of fact, with 13:51 to go, there is a ton of time. And we've already seen anything can happen in this one. Second pick of the season for Cooper. And not a whole lot of running room up the middle. On the carry by Wilson. Picks up 2. And it'll bring up a second down and 8. And there is another injury on the field, which means we will take another timeout.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. It's you, I felt this way before, you know it's true. It's you, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Well, we are in the 4th stanza. By the way, I mentioned earlier, just why make any bones about it? We are taking the video feed from Snow College. Compliments of Gary Scheidester and the folks there at Snow College. Thank you very much to the crew. And we are streaming from Eagle Stadium in Ozark, Alabama, where 8 minutes prior to pregame, we were still doing baseball here. First game this morning at 9 a.m. and wrapped up 8 minutes before the ball game. Smith, long pass, incomplete. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8. Football at the 32. But I said all that again to say this. We are in the 4th, not the 3rd. I don't have control over the graphics or the clock or the score or the camera. But do not take that as a slight on Snow, man. They have been terrific. And right on cue. Hey, maybe they're watching. Saying, hey, let's see what they're doing on GMC with our feed. It's the
final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Third down and 8. Smith back to pass, and it is incomplete. And it'll bring up a 4th down and long in a punting situation. And the Bulldogs about to get the football back in a 4-point ball game. 3 battling 4. What a huge game, and it's been made bigger by Hutchinson's loss earlier today to Butler. Then one spot will have a new occupant. I would think it's going to be Iowa Western. Then the question becomes, who moves to 2? And you would think if GMC wins it, they do. That began to take a Snow roll, and Georgia Military's Bland says, not going to have that. That could be down inside the 5. And he'll bring it out to about the 22-yard line. And a little jawing going on. Well, you would expect that when 3 and 4 meet. You do not, though, want to say something that gets you kicked out of the game. Get kicked out of the game, you're not playing next week. First down and 10, football of the 23. Typically, a coach would say, don't do that. Don't pick up that rolling ball. But in this particular case, might have some kudos on the sidelines for Bland, because that was headed deep inside dog territory, instead out to the 23. Cooper steps up, fires, complete, 25, 30. And pounding his way to the 35-yard line is Keenan Phillips. And Phillips, game in, game out, becoming more involved in the passing game. Had a couple of receptions last week for 21 yards. And on the receiving end of that, Cooper toss for 12 out to the 35. We're in his first down and 10. Cooper again, firing, and it is caught. Turmer's got it inside the 20, 10, into the end zone, touchdown. Make that Smith, Trenton Smith, on the receiving end of a big touchdown strike from Cooper. Wow. It was a great catch to begin with by Smith, but when he got beyond the defenders, it looked like maybe one guy had a swat at him, and that was it. Yeah, right there. And I'm not sure that even one fella had an opportunity. Smith with that long touchdown strike, 65 yards. And the Bulldogs have reclaimed the lead. Perez, extra point kick. It is good.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Obviously, still plenty of time left to play in the football game, but it dang sure feels better to have a 3-point lead than a 4-point deficit. Football on the turf. Badgers able to fall on it, but at the 23-yard line. And that's where it is first down and 10. But keep in mind, this is Donnie Smith and Snow. These are folks that throw for a lot of yardage, 1,600 yards on the season, 25 touchdown tosses for Smith coming in. 2 tonight, 27 total on the year. They can cover a lot of ground in a short period of time. And there's still the bulk of the quarter to go with 12:07 to play. Wow, what a pass play to Smith. And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he really was pretty much non-existent in the pass game the first couple of games in. It was about the third game. Then you started to take note of Smith. Wilson out to the 29. Gain of 5, close to 6. But he has become one of the favorite targets of Cooper. And as a matter of fact, now leads the team in receiving. And that is his 6th touchdown reception on the year. Handoff given up the middle. And it's Wilson again. He will be close to and might have the first. It will depend upon the spot, and it looks like the spot's got him about a yard shy, where it is 3rd down and short. This is the second top 5 team that Snow has played this year. Lost to Iowa Western. This is the second top 5 team for GMC. They lost to Iowa Western. Give up the middle, and that should be enough for the first. Just barely. But Wilson able to get just beyond the down marker and just beyond the first. See that nose of the pigskin touching the 35-yard line? That's about how much was needed to pick up the first. And there's another injured player on the turf. We are back after this.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here.
Coming out of the injury timeout, lofted down to the 45-yard line to King, and he's got the first for Snow College. Smith able to find King. King inside Bulldog territory of the 45-yard line. We're in his first down and 10, 24-21, GMC lead. First 10 points of the game, Georgia Military. Next 21 belonging to Snow, and the next 14 for GMC. A little long with the toss. Incomplete pass, bringing up a 2nd and 10 as we get inside 10 minutes to play in the football game. Shout out says, way to go, Dogs. Get this W from Nana in Ohio. Got the emoji with the big, heart eyes. Thank you very much. Nana in Ohio. Inside 10 to play. Wilson wanted it. Smith will keep it. And actually, that is Kyson Condi, reserve quarterback, coming in to carry the football for a gain of a couple. Bringing up a 3rd down and 8, trying to throw a new wrinkle into the ball game. 3rd and 8 at the 43-yard line. And you see the time ticking off the clock. Inside 9 minutes to play. We might get you out of this one there in the Eastern time zone before Sunday morning. Smith drops back, looks. Did not have an opportunity to find his open target coming out of the backfield. Wilson had gotten open, but Smith just did not have time to find him. He is dropped for a loss. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 9. And you're not thinking field goal here. It would be about a 60-yarder. You're thinking about the first. And if you're the Bulldogs, here we go again. One of those 3rd or 4th down and long scenarios where a stop gives you the football or 9 yards gives Snow a first. Smith stepping back on a 4th down and 9. Football at the 43. Looks, pocket stays firm. It is dropped. Contact made as the receiver was touching the football. Kasai Jones. Big, busted up play there. And now Georgia Military with 8:14 to go gets the football back at the 43. How about an 8-minute and 13-second drive? I mean, if I had my ruthers, that's what I'd be pulling for. Do they have 8-minute and 13 drives in football anymore? In 8 minutes and 13 seconds, you could probably have about 7 or 8 drives. 1st and 10 from the 43. Cooper on the keeper. He'll cross midfield, get inside Badger territory. And if you're the Bulldogs, you have no desire whatsoever to stop that clock. And if you can pick up 9 yards on a 1st down carry, I'm thinking it's doubtful, highly doubtful, you're throwing the football on a 2nd and short when you've got an opportunity to keep that clock running. Well, then we're about to throw the football. Have I mentioned how little I know about the game and what they could or shouldn't or wouldn't or might do? Let's see what the penalty is about. Was there movement that drew the Badgers off sides? Nope. 5-yard mark off. Well, of course, in throwing the football on a 2nd down and short, you got 2 things. One is home run ball. 2, I guess, kind of the element of surprise. But didn't have to use it. And it is a 1st down and 10. Football at the 42. Cooper keeping it to the left side, and he will drive his way forward for about a yard. And it will bring up a 2nd down and 9 if you're looking at getting into field goal range for Freddie Perez. He's already hit a 33-yarder. And his long on the year, .36. So that means you're putting it inside the 30. About 9 yards from here to get comfortable. Cooper trying to break free of would-be tacklers, finally dropped at the 45. So a loss back, well, they'll say the knee touch to the 48. And a loss of 8 yards on the sack of Cooper, bringing up a 3rd down and long, and you are definitely out of field goal range here. Well, how about another one of those passes to Smith, over the middle, between defenders, into the end zone. I'm just thinking of some, pulling out of my wish bag. On a 3rd down and 13, big 3rd down play for Georgia Military. They would like to get near the 30. And Cooper's going to run it up the middle of the 40. And I would assume Georgia Military is about to pick the ball away and try to pin the Badgers back deep. Well, they, at least at the moment, appear to be poised to go for it on a 4th down and 9. From the 41. Wow. Well, we were talking about Snow with the gutsy play on a 4th and short from their 29. What about this 4th and 9 from the 40? Unless, again, you're trying to either draw them off sides, turn it into a 4th and 4. And there you go. Going to call a timeout. Eat as much time off that clock as you can.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Not a particularly lengthy timeout. You did see a flag fly as the ball is dropped at the 19-yard line. So let's see what the flag is about. And if a re-kick would be in order, or if there's enough yardage picked up on the first to give the Bulldogs a first. About to get the indication it is a false start. 5-yard mark on. So if you're the Badgers, do you want to re-kick? Didn't see him indicate a declining of the penalty, but I think that is what the Badgers have done. They're like, you know what? We're not going to take our chances. We'll take it to the 25-yard line. And that's where it is 1st down and 10. Here is another huge drive. Snow trying to get points out of the drive to tie the game up. If you're looking at 44 being the long for man this year, the lone field goal for the field goal kicker for Snow, then you want to get it to about the 30, maybe the 35-yard line. Well, check that. Inside the 30, probably about the 28. Wilson with a gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. 5 minutes to play in the football game. Wilson by the side of Smith. Frischnick with a catch at the 30, and it'll be 3rd and relatively long. Frischnick, the freshman. on a 3rd down and 5. 4:33 to go in the football game. And at least at the moment, Snow doesn't appear to be in a real big hurry. Of course, when you score, and probably the average drive is a couple of minutes for Snow, then heck, you got time for 2 drives if you're looking at things that way. Wilson's got the first. He is near midfield. And a big burst of energy for Wilson to the 49-yard line, where it is 1st down and 10 Snow. So about 20 yards away from field goal range. Wilson around the end, and he'll be pushed out of bounds again right about the line of scrimmage, the 49. And there is a penalty flag. And you see Badgers clapping. Not a good sign for the Bulldogs. Got a face mask charge to the Bulldogs. That is a huge penalty. And the penalty yardage marked off down to the 35-yard line, where it is 1st down and 10. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the football game. Incomplete pass. Intended out on the flats for Stephon Sellers. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Well, a field goal from here is going to be about a 52-yarder. And again, the longest and only one of the year for Snow came from 44 yards away. Second down and 10. Wilson beside Snow in the backfield, wide receivers to both sides. Smith with the pitch to Wilson. And Wilson will be caught behind the line of scrimmage and lose a yard. That turns it into a 3rd down and long. And the clock ticking down to inside 3 minutes to play. 4-down territory for the Badgers. If they don't pick up the first, they will go for it. This is still just a little bit out of the range of man, field goal wise. So 2 downs to try to pick up 11 yards. And the Bulldogs trying to keep that from happening. Smith tipped away at the last moment. Reaching in to tip it away, Jorian Haynes. What a big play. And that's a big celebration. Talk about some energy. It is 4th and 11. .237 left to go. This is not necessarily the ball game, but it will be darn close if you don't convert, if you are Snow. They've got 1 timeout left in the game. You got the 2-minute timeout, so 2 timeouts if you don't pick up a first. 4th down and 11. And let's see, is there a flag? There is. Typically where you get a delay of game, and that is what you have got, and a 4th and 11 turns into a 4th and 16. Penalty yardage back to the 42. So it is a 4th down and 16. And this 4th down play gets that much bigger. Snow's got to get it inside the 27 to pick up the first. Smith looking, firing over the middle. It is caught.
And he's got the first. Wow, big fourth down play into the hands of Overstreet. Just open over the middle. They needed 16 and got 18. Down to the 24-yard line, and now inside field goal range. And let's see if they bring it down to the 2-minute warning. And it looks like they indeed will. 2 minutes to play in a 3-point game.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Two minutes to go in the football game. Football at the 21-yard line. Low snap. Give goes to Wilson. Wilson inside the 20 and hammered down at the 18. And Snow College playing for one of 2 things, a win or OT. A win is their preference, obviously. Georgia Military needing another one of those big turnovers. A pick, a fumble recovery. McCrae's done it twice. Can he do it again? And off to Wilson. Wilson dropped to the 18. And there is a minute 15 to go with the clock ticking. And again, the only field goal of the year, a 44-yarder. Man, if you are Ethan Mann, you talk about nerve-wracking if you're about to walk onto the turf. We'll see. We are inside a minute to go. 3rd down and 5, football at the 17. Smith drops back, got a receiver over the middle, incomplete. Wilson, the intended target. It's 4th down, and now decision time for Snow. You bring the guy onto the turf who has only hit 1 field goal all year long, a 44-yarder. Or do you go for it on 4th down? And it is a 4th down and 5. There has been obviously a lot of success by Snow in the ball game in converting 4th downs. And it sure doesn't look like they're going to go for the 3. Huge play for the Bulldogs. Ball game right here on a 4th down and 5. And the Bulldogs do not want to get drawn off sides, and now you've got a timeout asked for by Snow.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
4th down and 5. And it looks like the decision has been made. Ethan Mann, who has hit one field goal this season from 44 yards, is 0 for 1 between 30 and 39. Will try a 35-yard effort to tie the ball game at 24, and now it is Georgia Military wanting a time and an opportunity to talk.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Well, the Bulldogs taking time to talk, but also to ice the kicker, Ethan Mann. Let him think about the magnitude of the kick. You hit it, it's a tie game at 24, likely OT. You miss it, and your chances to play in a national championship aren't completely gone, but they're on their way out. A 35-yard field goal. Kick up. He's got the leg. He's got the accuracy. 24 each and 41 seconds to go.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship-trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
.41 seconds away from potential OT. 35-yard man field goal. And number 3 and number 4 have given us everything we wanted out of a top 5 matchup. 41 seconds to play. And the Bulldogs, barring a miscue, will have one more opportunity. It'll be returned from the goal line. Out to the 10, 15, out of bounds there with 34 seconds to play. And now if you're a Georgia Military, are you thinking about going 85 yards? Risking the possibility of a turnover? Pick six, that kind of stuff? With one timeout remaining? Or are you taking your chances on overtime, which obviously have not been real kind to the Bulldogs this year? Their lone loss came in OT to the then number 1 ranked team in the country. .34 seconds to play. First down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 15. Cooper at quarterback. And he will throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Runs into the 20. Steps out of bounds at the 21. 79 yards from Pater. And there is a penalty flag, though, and that's in an area where you get that holding. So it'll be half the distance to the goal, back inside the 10. And now maybe if you are the Bulldogs, you are thinking, let's take our chances in overtime. 26 seconds to go. You sure don't want Cooper backing up into the end zone to throw it away, and a safety changing the score of the game. And you got a timeout. So the Bulldogs will use their last timeout in regulation.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Well, we're going to overtime. There you see in Cooper putting knee to turf, and regulation will not do it for this one. Second OT game of the year for Georgia Military. They've been to OT once before. It was to the number 1 team in the country. This time to the number 4.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship-trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
This one going to overtime. Football will be placed at the 25. You will be able to pick up a first and keep a drive alive. Not like the Kansas tiebreaker where you got the ball at the 10 and you got 4 downs to punch it in. The ball spotted at the 25-yard line. And it appears as though Georgia Military will be on offense first. So the advantage, obviously, is that if you are Snow, you know what you got to have based on the opening drive or the first OT drive for GMC. So why not? Overtime. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. It's first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Cooper to pass, drops back, looks, fires over the middle. It is caught at the 16-yard line. Ricardo Tarver bringing in the pass, and there is an injured Badger.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
We are in overtime. Clock off. What matters is yardage. 2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard gain to Tarver. Football at the 16-yard line. Cooper in a QB. 2 receivers to one side, 1 to the other. Phillips pounding it up the middle, trying to pick up the first. And it looks like he's going to be snuffed out about a half-yard shy. It will depend upon the spot. If they're giving forward progress, at one point it looked like maybe the nose of the football got inside the 15. Nope, they move it back to the line of scrimmage where it is 3rd and 1. Phillips will stay in the backfield. 2 touchdowns today for Keenan Phillips. 17 now on the year. On a 3rd down, Cooper right up the middle, spins his way inside the 5, down to the 3. And Chip Cooper has the Bulldogs with a 1st and goal. Wow, that was just that stacked up Philadelphia Eagle type formation. And Cooper just continued to churn, and this time will be met at the line of scrimmage and dropped. It's 2nd and goal. Well, here's what the Bulldogs don't want. They don't want to have to get into that situation where it's, well, do we go for the 6 or do we go for the 3? Want to just go ahead and punch it in. Football at the 3. Phillips in the backfield. Looking for a little seam. And makes his way down to about the 2. So it is a 3rd and goal. And you're a play away from having to make one of those decisions. Field goal or 6. Big play here. And with Phillips in the backfield, you got the Badgers kind of pinning the ears back, anticipating a Phillips run. Got that student body left, trying to find the corner of the end zone. Into the end zone. 3-yard touchdown run for Phillips. Bulldogs will score first in overtime. Well, do you toy with the idea of going for 2? Nope. There's Perez. 3rd touchdown of the night for Phillips. 3-yarder. And Perez trying to make it a touchdown and an extra point kick lead. It is up, and it is good. OT for Snow coming up.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Well, it's now Snow College's opportunity to try to put points on the board. Smith is going for an all early, and that is incomplete. Trying to get it to his big tight end, Caden Eggett. Eggett has already caught a touchdown strike in this one. The incomplete pass brings up a 2nd and 10. Football at the 25. (31-24) GMC lead. Snow with the football at the 25. Smith. 3 receivers to one side, 2 to the other. Over the middle, pass is caught. Overstreet, sidestepping Bulldogs, and he'll be brought down at the 6. Inside the 5, closer to the 4. Boy, just able to break a tackle right there. And that brings him inside the 5 down to the 4. We're in his first down and goal. Handoff given to Wilson, and Wilson met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain. 2nd and goal. Football at the 5. Snow trying to tie it up. They know they can't do the 3. Got to have the 6 and the PAT. Fake to Wilson. Nearly picked off by McCray. Overstreet, the intended target. Wow, McCray almost able to pick that one off. And it is a 3rd down. Well, you know they're going to go for it on a 4th. Snow got plenty of time, flushed out of the pocket. Fires, it is in and out of the hands of his intended target. Boy, that was there. But maybe a distraction for Agate. Was that reach back by a Bulldog? It's a 4th down and goal to the 5. And for Snow, this is the play. Punch it into the end zone, you got the touchdown. Got the extra point try and a possibility at double OT. Or if you go for 2, I guess the possibility of winning. Big play here. Bulldogs trying to stop the Badgers in overtime, and there is a timeout on the field asked for by Snow.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Fourth and goal at the 5. You know, in the prior play, the 3rd and 5, it looked like Smith had some running room, might have been able to run it into the end zone. Instead, opted to pass at the last moment. Here is the play. Bulldogs trying to hold, winning in overtime. Smith, a little confusion in the backfield, lofted towards the corner, and it's incomplete. Is there a flag? No, and the Georgia Military College Bulldogs have won it in overtime. Bulldogs, 31-24 winners. And this one is over. Georgia Military knocking off Snow, the number 4 ranked team in the country. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. Thank you very much to the folks there at Snow. And there you got a little extra stuff that, well, they didn't mean to put up, and that's okay. We appreciate them allowing us access to their video. Thanks to Ozark for the internet. Thank you for watching. Bulldogs have won it in overtime, 31-24. For all the folks with GMC and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.